unrequited.
Requited or requited?
It's unrequited, right? Leave comment. I don't.
Yeah.
English, but oh yeah, and then
we're not Englishing today.
We're not Englishing today. But yeah, that's the song that you guys heard in the beginning. That the intro tune to this episode is her latest
fifth single.
Fifth single. Yeah. And so, Miss Girl, tell us about what's the song about. I mean, we briefly said unrequited love, but like, what does unrequited love mean? Well, we're not about Peter. Peter's also here today, you guys. Oh, is her volume not? She's too far away.
Okay, I'll speak louder. Simply put, when you have a crush on someone, it could either be the best feeling or the worst feeling.
Yeah.
But if the crush doesn't love you back, well, it's called a crush for a reason. You feel crushed. That's how you feel. And I also, I don't know. I think it's bold for a woman to be the one to call a man out saying, hey, why don't you love me back?
Yeah.
Especially in this culture, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like in Indonesia, it's more common for the women to be calm and collected, gangsy about how she feels. Yeah.
But also common for the woman to take on a passive role when it comes to her romantic and even sexual life and kind of just sit there, look pretty, and wait for the man to be the one to come to her rather than her being the one to come to the man.
Absolutely.
Which is the discussion that really, like, that's the bulk of the discussion today. But I did want to ask you really quickly, like, what was the inspiration behind you writing this song? Like, I mean, you've been there, you've done that.
Of course, yeah. All of the songs that I released, my original songs, based on my past experience. Because I feel like if I haven't experienced it before, then I just can't really relate to it. And the audience could tell. Except for my first single, Seribu Kali Cinta, which is about Cinta Abadi. And obviously, I haven't found my Cinta Abadi, but I could relate that in another way. For example, music is my Cinta Abadi. So I could like shift my perspective. But besides that, all the songs that I've released and sang, all from my past experience. And I feel like with Love Me Back, I'm tired of bottling up my emotions when I feel crushed that my crush doesn't love me back. So instead, why don't we just talk about it? You know, it's so normal. I feel like a lot of people are still shy or maybe embarrassed that they're not being loved back by their crushes. But I think it's a completely normal experience. And I feel like we need to experience that in order to grow stronger, in order to know what it feels like to be loved. You appreciate the good parts of a relationship once you experience the bad, right?
Yeah.
Again, it's all about when your expectations and realities don't meet in your love life, and it happens. Yeah. Just enjoy the process, because I'm sure that you'll find someone much better at the end of the day.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure everyone above the age of 18 has experienced the feeling of unrequited love. Like the whole what's the other synonym of unrequited? Like, my brain is not functioning today.
Which one is
this? Non-mutual, like unreciprocated.
Unreciprocated,
unreciprocated. There you go. Fucking TOEFL today. Why, Peter?
Yeah, cinta bertepuk sebelah.
Cinta bertepuk sebelah tangan. Yeah. It's what did I say just now? Unreciprocated. My brain is not working.
We are not Englishing today.
We are not Englishing today. Maybe it's because I didn't have coffee before this. But
yeah,
you know, I'm pretty sure everyone's at some point. I'm trying to remember mine. When was the last time? It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. And also, I will say, like, I'm not the I don't know, like, how should I put this? I've never actually like put this into words.
Yeah.
Where for many years I shut myself off from love, and that's why I turned to sex instead, because it's so much easier.
Why did you shut love away?
Oh, this is turning into therapy again. Again.
If you don't mind sharing.
Oh yeah, no. It's just I've never had anyone ask me why, so I'm like trying to like think. Why did I? Well, at first, you know what? Back in high school, I was in a relationship with my first high school sweetheart. We were in a relationship for like 3 years. That's the longest relationship I've ever been in. I was convinced at that time we were gonna get married.
I feel you. Yeah, that's exactly with my high school relationship too. Yeah, 3 years ish, and yeah.
And then y'all broke up because y'all went to college, separate ways.
No, I mean, we were in high school. Yeah, so, I can't really explain precisely either, because we were still so young. Yeah, there's a lot of factors.
No, and you was dumb in love back in high school, and no, but then for me and him, well, yeah, I mean, the factor was that like we broke up because we went our separate ways. Like he was in Europe and I was in the US. But also the relationship kind of just took its course. Like we kind of outgrew each other, that type of shit. He was a little bit problematic in some ways.
Oh no, okay, well, glad you left.
Yeah, but then
he's problematic.
Yeah, but then I've never even thought about it. Like why after that breakup, I don't even remember if it damaged me or like hurt me so fucking bad in some type of way, but all I remember is that after that relationship I was like, yeah, no, fuck this. And that's kind of like when I started just kind of like hoeing around and then I found out like, oh, this is just like so much easier. Although like put an asterisk on that because not necessarily, because there's the whole conversation of like, you know, you can't help but sometimes you just catch feelings for the person that is inside of you.
In general.
It's
easier.
Part of your inspiration of wanting to write the song is also to challenge this notion that like, oh, women shouldn't be the ones to advocate for their feelings.
Yeah, I think I want to bring up the fact that it's okay to feel heartbroken. As women, I feel like over here, we were trained to hide our emotions whenever we feel sad or rejected because we need to stay cool about it. We need to be gangsy about it, right? But no, I think rejection is completely normal and it makes you a much stronger person.
But don't you find that very interesting? Because traditionally speaking, it's men that have always been pushed by the patriarchy and patriarchal notions to suppress their emotion. But I see your point that it's much more normalized for men to be hung up over a woman. But then if a woman is hung up over a man, it's like, where's your dignity?
Yeah.
Is that type of notion?
Yeah.
I do see that.
Because men should be the more aggressive one compared to women in terms of like asking out. I mean, again, this is a tricky topic. It's more of a, basically put, women, it's okay to be much more expressive over the feeling of rejection. And if your love life doesn't work out the way you want it to be, it's completely fine.
No, I think it's because the patriarchy has always placed a woman's value in how desirable she is to a man, right? Or like how much she appeals to the male gaze. And so I think it's that notion of, oh, if a woman is heartbroken because a man won't love her back, oh, that means it's because you're not desirable, right? So it's kind of, it's that sort of like women blaming mentality still is sort of like inherently ingrained into it. Like I'm just kind of like, I'm thinking about this on the spot. Actually, I've never really thought about that.
I think one idea I've always thought about when it comes to Love Me Back is more of how women handle rejection. So one, let's say I get rejected by the guy I like. All right, the normal thing to do is just keep quiet about it, stay cool, move on to the next one. I'm a very confrontational person, and whenever I try to confront someone in this culture, it's seen as something more daring. You know, whereas when I was living outside in the States, confrontational conversations were so normal because that's the healthy way to move on. So I think with Love Me Back, I'm just telling my listeners, my friends, my fans, saying that if a guy doesn't treat you well, you have the right to call him out and say, hey, you like misled me. Why don't you love me back?
Oh, you also...
You know, it's okay for women to speak up.
Okay.
It's you have the rights to
advocate for your feelings, girl.
Yeah. Stand up for your feelings.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to stand up for every relationship that failed because not all relationships deserve verbal closure, right? But when verbal closure is possible, that's completely fine for a woman to stand up for herself.
Wait, okay, so as part of the story of Love Me Back is that, okay, this dude like led you on and then
this was mainly in college. When I was still in college. I mean, me in college wasn't as mature as me now. Obviously that applies to almost everyone, but in that moment I just kept blaming myself. Like, okay, this guy ghosted me because there must be something wrong with me. Because I might have...
gaslighting.
I should have said something that not offended him, just like...
Made him feel some type of way.
Made him feel differently about me. And you know what? After that experience, I realized, hey, it's not always my fault. Maybe he just wasn't ready. Maybe we're just not meant to be. So instead of feeling guilty all the time that it's my fault... I get to call him out too and say, hey, that's not fair. Yeah. Not fair for leading me on. Not fair for making me feel like it's all my fault. You know?
Yeah.
Also, for me personally, I'm the type of woman who... I'm not the type of woman to make the first move. It's okay if you are. It's just not me. I am the type of woman who would give hints to a guy if I like them. And it takes me a while to be sure that, okay, I will make it a little bit more obvious that I'm into you. It's taken some consideration for me. I don't normally do that.
Interesting, because I'm the complete opposite. Why do you not just go for it? If you can be confrontational with everybody else.
Because I think, good question. I haven't been challenged that way. I think it's because at this age, if there's no initial, you're right. You know what? Maybe I'm too picky.
I'm reading you.
This is opening my eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm loving this conversation. Yeah.
What's a very important distinction that we got to make? Love and infatuation are very, very different. Love is so much harder. Infatuation.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah, that's very surface level.
That is very surface level.
I find you attractive. Right? I like you. Cool.
Yeah. But I understand when it's like with someone that you love, because I understand that fear of like, if I make the first, it's not an ego thing of like, oh, if I make the first move, does it say something about me? Blah, 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 blah. But it's more so the sensitivity of like, I mean, I think it's fair to say if you love somebody, you have, before you can establish like a romantic love, there is that platonic love as well of like, okay, we have a relationship established between us as being friends.
The foundation is strong, right?
Yeah. And then it's like, well, what if I ruin shit between us, you know? And then we can't go back because like I've made things awkward.
For sure.
So I get it. With love, tread lightly, right? But then like with infatuation, like let's say like you at a bar, you see some cute guy, then hey, I mean,
why not?
Why not? Right?
I think that kind of, I guess I do have a question. I do have an answer now. I think with harmless flirting, super easy. I feel like I can flirt so much easier with people that I'm not that into.
Yeah, because low stakes. Low stakes.
Yeah. But when I have a crush on someone, I'm reluctant because, again, I want to be more careful with this person because I actually do consider some potential in you. I don't want to break it.
But is that in the context of like when you're unsure of their feelings for you back? Like, are you unsure of like you're unsure if they love you back or not?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think, I mean, I have had a history of not being loved back, hence the Love Me Back song. So I think I still carry it with me, not as baggage, but as like a, hey, you know, keep this in mind. I don't want to get hurt anymore. More of that, you know. I'm just like guarding my heart and guarding my feelings.
No, I'm trying to think. Well, definitely when it comes to like flirting and like I see a cute guy in the bar, like at the bar, then I think that shit between us could like work out. Like I'm very much like I make the first move. I'm like, hey, what's your number? Can I get your number? Done that plenty of times. There have been times where I got shut down. Okay. Where the guy's like, no, I mean, you seem really nice, but you're just really not my type. And I just gotta be like, you know, that's totally fine. Yeah. No, that's totally fine. I'm trying to think of like with love, with like my past relationship. Well, with like my last boyfriend, we met on, well, dating apps make it so much easier, I feel almost. Are you on dating apps?
I'm not.
You're not. Have you ever?
In college, my friends asked me to just join for fun.
Okay.
And I've never done it before. So I thought, okay, why not? But it's not for me.
Not for you?
Not for me.
Yeah. I will say with dating apps, I don't think you run into that issue because it's already established from the get-go. Like, you already swipe right on each other, right? So it's already established. You've established.
Exactly.
The knowledge of that. Yeah, no, I think you're cute. Like, I fancy you at least a little bit, you know?
I think with the whole dating app thing, I disagree and I disagree. I agree in a sense that, yes, it's easier because you've established that, hey, I like you and I know you like me too because we've matched. But because the options of potential partners in dating apps,
the streets are full of shit.
It's just more saturated. The market is more saturated. It's much easier for the dating app user to kind of just move on to the next one or not really commit to you because of the thought that, oh, hey, there's a lot of other options. I feel like if I'm too invested in you, I'm going to be missing out on other potentially better ones than you. I'm not saying everyone is like this, but in general. But
that is a very common debate that happens when talking about dating apps is that this whole mentality, especially these days, and like what with the advent of technology and also globalization, like we have access to a wider range of dating pool that like our parents and their grandparents they didn't have.
They're overwhelmed with choice.
Yes, it's the what's that paradox of choice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You got so much choices. You got so much choices that you don't know who to choose, but then it's also that you got so much choices that you're not willing to commit to just that one person.
And maybe because you're only talking to someone on a dating app and not, let's say, text message, something more personal, it's easier for the person to simply ghost you because they feel like, oh, we're not at a connection that deep enough for me to explain why I feel like this relationship has no end goal or why this relationship might not work out. It's still so superficial. We're only connected through these apps. So I feel like I don't owe you an explanation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're not on dating apps, you are building a connection that's deeper because that's just how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
because you're texting on your personal phone numbers and everything, and that feels more personal, I guess.
And then also, I mean, like, hey, how did they get your numbers? Because you've already met face to face.
Yeah, established a connection deeper than just matching, right?
Yeah. Like you've been in the same room physically, like you've interacted physically with one another. Whereas with dating apps, it's like, I've never met you before.
No stakes, low stakes.
Very, very low stakes. Which in a way, like that for many, many years, and well, even until now, I don't mind, but for many years, I enjoyed that. Worked very well in my favor. So yeah. You know, I was talking about this with a friend very recently, this whole, like, literally the same topic of like, women making the first move. And then it's very common here in Indonesia for a lot of girls. And I've gotten DMs from a lot of girls as well, where they're like, God, I have a crush on this guy and I want to let him know. But then, like, what if he thinks I'm a slut?
Oh.
No, that's the thing.
Okay,
and I'm just like,
I understand. Yeah,
I kind of want to take this time today, especially because a lot of my, I mean, you know, a lot of my followers and like my listeners are young girls. Like, I want to take time today to really dissect that. Like, let's break that
Let's
down.
do it. Yeah.
I mean, the obvious answer, like, I hope it's obvious, is obviously not.
I agree.
It's obviously not, because here's the other thing. Because I was talking about this with my guy friend, right? Shout out to someone if he's watching this. But it's also, I've never understood why the patriarchy, my goodness, one of these days I have to make an episode explaining what exactly the patriarchy is.
An episode or a series?
Oh, probably a series. It's probably going to have to be a series. But you understand what I mean when I say the patriarchy, right? Yep. We went to California together. But the patriarchy has always prescribed this notion that, men always have to take on an active role, whereas women have to kind of be laid back and passive and wait for the man. Because she kind of has to be like this damsel in distress type of Snow White waiting for Prince Charming to come find her. Men have to be the one to always initiate and take on a more active role. And this is one of those examples when I keep saying that the patriarchy doesn't just hurt women, it also hurts men. This is one of the ways that it actually, not like, this isn't the most extreme example, but this is a very mild example of how the patriarchy also hurts men. Because do you not realize that there are so many men out there that, like, okay, like, God forbid what, a man is also shy to like to confront his confess his feelings in fear of rejection.
Right, yeah.
And it's very unrealistic to constantly place the burden on the man to always be the one to always chase everything for himself. Like, sometimes wouldn't it be nice, like, okay, like, please let me hear from all the men. Wouldn't it be nice for you as the man, like, if the women were the ones to like come up to you?
I'm loving this conversation. Yeah, I think it's more of from my experience, it's shy versus passive. I'm okay with a guy who is initially shy. I would be happy to give him the little heads up, little nudge, little hint. And if he reciprocates after, then that's fine. Maybe he just needed a little, hey, you know what? Maybe you're clueless. I'll help you with that. But if he's passive, then that's a no for me. There's a difference between shy and passive. And I think I'm a good amalgamation of both cultures in which I do still believe in the old school culture in which a man should be they should play the more active role in terms of a relationship. Yeah. But at the same time, I am open-minded enough to accept that, hey, once in a while, it's okay for the women to give the hint. Yeah. And also because I feel like I'm a very outgoing person. So it's in my nature to ask my friends, guys and girls, hey, let's hang out. Let's grab a meal here. Because that's just in me. Yes. So I think that may take the pressure of me asking a guy out because by nature, I'm already that outgoing, even with my group of guy friends. You know? But again, with my crushes, I'm okay with making it a little bit more obvious that I'm into you, but I would not be the one to take the active role. I would still want the man to play on the active role.
And so does that stem just purely from like, because like that's the kind of like culture that you grew up with?
Yeah,
That
I
like,
think so.
which is totally fine. I just want to know.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just very interesting. Like for me, I had a completely different upbringing. I mean, and you know me, like I was raised by a single mom and everything, and the whole nine. So it's just very interesting. For me, I've always viewed it more so because I had a lot of guy friends growing up that really struggled when it came to verbalizing and expressing their emotions, romantic emotions being part of it. And I always just saw how unfair it was that that society would always place the burden on men, place the responsibility on men to always be the one to initiate, when like a lot of these men, like a lot of the times it's also that society never even properly taught men how to do it and kind of just expected them to know how to do it.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that?
And I also feel like, I've thought long and hard about it.
Just because you're a man, you should inherently know how to do it. It's like, no, like
it takes a skill set of emotional intelligence.
Yeah, but then it's also sometimes the privilege of certain types of personalities.
Yeah, like more outgoing ones.
More outgoing people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some men, and some men are just more shy.
Which is why, I'm more understanding towards shyer guys.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, my type is the more introverted, the shyer guys.
Yeah.
That's why I understand, okay, maybe sometimes you just need a bit of a nudge. But once I nudge you, I do expect you to take on the more active role because I've given you the hint. My role is done in the beginning. Once I gave you the little push, then I expect you to have more confidence, you know?
Yes.
And like asking me out and maintaining that relationship.
Interesting. Because for me, I'm the exact same way. My type is like the more introverted quiet guy because it's
me. Exactly.
It's
because I think we're extroverts, right? We're the more talkative ones in the relationships.
And I'm just
that makes complete sense. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Like imagine me dating another
me. Right? Yeah. That would be too
much. Too much. So my type, that's very interesting because my type is also like yours, the more shy and like the more introverted to kind of like balance me out. But then because that is my type and like because I know that is what I'm dealing with. That's why I'm always the one kind of like making the move on them. I'm like, hey, I won't be so, look, I have social skills. I'm not going to be like, I love you, I want to get married or some shit like that. But then I'm literally the one messaging him and I'm like, let's do this on this date. What are you doing tonight? Let's go out. Let's go. And it's a very direct way of letting them know that yes, I am definitely interested without being too overt.
It's balls in your court.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we know our boundaries too. Once we express interest in someone, if they don't reciprocate, if they don't love you back, all right, at least we've given it a try. We're not the type of women to constantly chase after someone. If we know that they don't like us back.
No, don't chase after something that doesn't want to be chased after.
I think it becomes toxic when we keep chasing something that clearly they're not interested. But then also for me, it's like, damn bitch, where's your dignity? That's where it comes into consideration, right?
And then the opposite of that, right? Because I think a lot about how also there is this notion that as women, we should just be grateful for any man that just comes our way.
I disagree.
I
disagree. Do not settle.
Do not settle.
Yeah.
Do not fucking settle because growing up there, this one, I never received this from my mom at home. My mom's the last person to tell me this, but like just from everyone, like just my environment in general, there was always this notion that like, oh, a woman should just be grateful for whatever man she gets because like you're lucky if a man wants you.
Yeah, I've always strongly disagreed with that.
Because it ties into the whole dignity thing, right? It's like you want us to be women of dignity, but then you just want us to settle for whatever man that it just comes our way. Because
you know why? Because of the notion that if you have a man, you are wanted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it also, it's because it plays into the narrative of, oh, women should just take on a passive role, right? We should just like sit back and be pretty, wait for the man to come to us.
Sure,
And it's such a double-edged sword. This is one of those things where, in my opinion, being a woman, like you can't win because it's like, okay, you want me to have be a woman of dignity, high standards, but then like when I do have standards, when I do have demands for what I want from a man, then I'm vilified as being too demanding.
Yeah. Too picky, too demanding. I mean, I said it as a joke, but yeah, in reality,
In reality.
We get that a lot, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now that I'm single,
Yes.
a lot of people have asked me, oh, why aren't you dating someone new?
Yeah,
When are you going to go on dates? When are you going to start dating again? Honestly, I'm taking my time because I'm not going to settle. Are there a lot of other single guys? Yes. But am I interested in them? No. So I won't settle. I'll just wait until I find someone who's right, who's worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'd rather, back in the days, I used to be so much more insecure about being single because the notion of being lonely, not wanted. But yeah, I think that's because I was still so much more insecure as a younger woman, right? And now, there's a lot of, there's the beauty of being single. You start seeing them. And I'd much rather be single than be with the wrong guy.
Yeah. Interesting. I somewhat relate to that, the whole like insecurity of like being single, but not more so single, but the insecurity of not being sexually desirable for me. But I think I think so much of it was because I was in LA, so it's like that was just the kind of environment that I was in. So I think that was something that kind of developed. Yeah, I guess hypersexualization is like one way to put it. But no. So the other point that I wanted to make is that this whole what I was talking about just now, the whole you should just be grateful for every man that you should get. Like, why are you so picky? Why are you so demanding? That's kind of something that I'm dealing with right now, to be honest. I want somebody of the same wavelength and also somebody that compliments me at the same time. And then I'd be listing out my list, and then people just be like, "Oh no, that's too much," and it's like, "No, what do you mean? That's just I don't know. To me, that's the bare minimum, and that's my preference, and that's my bare minimum."
Exactly. No, it's interesting because during my college years, again, I've thought about the list, right? Christie's list. What do I look for in a guy? And sometimes I have met people who have ticked all of my, if not all of my boxes. They looked so good on paper, but the very important element that was missing was just simply the spark. And I felt like the more I was looking, the more I didn't get it. And when I wasn't looking for a relationship, when I was genuinely just satisfied with being by myself, the right guy comes. Or the right guy then comes. Yeah. So, the more you're looking for someone, the more, I don't know, the situation just doesn't love you back yet.
Yeah. There is, I think there is something there about how, like, when you try too hard to find love,
the universe just won't let it happen.
Yeah.
It's just not going to make it work out for you. So you just got to step back and wait. Yeah. And believe in the right timing for you.
Because I've gotten this comment a lot because I am not the biggest fan of the idea of marriage, but that's a separate conversation we can have for some other time, right? But I keep point being, I'm that one friend who's always like, oh no, like marriage, oh no, can't be me. Can't be me. Me? No, never. Right? And then
I'm just learning about this. Yeah.
I've talked about it in like previous episodes as well, where I'm not the biggest fan of the idea of marriage. And essentially a lot of my friends, like, they would tell me, especially the Indonesian ones, I think this is more of an Indonesian cultural belief, I guess is the word to call it. My friends would be like, "Oh, Indah, be careful because orang yang paling pantang kawin duluan." Biasanya.
Oh yeah, that's what they say. Okay.
Yeah kan, Peter? There's that. Yeah. If you are the person that is the most against getting married and finding
you will
love,
be the one to get married first.
Yeah, it's literally love comes when you. Sometimes love comes when you least expect it, but also sometimes love comes when you don't want it. When you don't actively want it, and then maybe at that time you didn't realize that, oh, this is actually what I need. Perhaps I don't know, but
I kind of agree. That's I'll share my experiences a bit later.
No, that's it. Go on. Your experience.
It reminded me of when I first dated my then boyfriend. I was not looking for a relationship. In fact, that was the last thing I had in mind because I was about to graduate. That was my very, very last quarter at Stanford, and I mean, I wanted to focus on my friend groups because that was the last time we'd be together on the same campus before everyone goes everywhere. Yeah. And let alone a new relationship. Yeah. And then and there, I went to class. I met the person I was dating then. And it just felt so natural. So like the last time I was looking for a relationship, it just happened. So I think that really opened my eyes. And now that I'm single again, yes, it's important to put yourself out there, meet new people. Don't just stay in your room. Yeah. But at the same time, don't force things. Yeah. Because, it'll come when you least expect it, or the universe just won't love you back, as I kept saying earlier.
But you also gotta keep you have to let love come in as well. You have to keep your doors open is essentially
absolutely
what it is. Like, don't be like me and close the door for so many the doors for so many years.
Closing the door can also be beneficial. Like for example, when I was still healing, I'm the type of person, if I'm still healing from a relationship, I will keep my doors closed because I just simply am not ready to date again. Because if I force myself to see someone new, what's gonna happen? One, I'll still think about my ex, and two, I can't help but compare.
Yeah.
So only once I'm ready to talk to new people, then slowly I'll open the door, because I don't ever want that experience of not being left back anymore, and it's not fair for the other person that I'm seeing in the future. I don't want to be the person to not love them back as well, because I've experienced that and it's not nice, and I don't wish that upon anyone else.
You also have to be responsible with other people's feelings.
It's not fair for them.
No, you have a healthy approach. I don't.
It took me a while. I feel like having a healthy approach on love and relationships comes from having a healthy approach within yourself. You have to be completely secure with yourself in order to be secure with your next relationships and how you go about relationships.
I mean, I don't know if you mind like talking about this, or maybe just like sharing briefly about it. But
absolutely,
but I mean, how much of that was modeled like off of your parents and seeing your the dynamics between your parents, as in like the whole like learning how to have a healthy mindset about love and relationship, like having healthy and also stable. You have a much more stable mindset, and then it's because like you come from like the typical like traditional full nuclear family, like you have a mom and you have a dad and you have a brother and everything, and then I come from the complete fucking opposite, broken family type shit, right? And so it's like, no surprise. I'm just wondering like how much of that is probably because like you had like good parental role models in that aspect growing up.
Well, one thing my parents have always told me, there's no perfect person, there's no perfect relationship, but there is someone perfect for you. It's all about choice, compromise. And I think that's what shaped how I view relationships. So I think back in the days, I used to always opt for the perfect person. And then slowly I realized, you know what? There is some perfections to imperfections, because at the end of the day, the perfect person, including their imperfections, will be perfect for you. And I don't know, I think it also stemmed from being secure in myself. Not more so about my partner, but I've always really focused on being secure with myself, because back in the college days, again, as I previously mentioned, when a relationship does not work out for me, especially when things are looking good and we were almost about to make it, and then all of a sudden he either ghosts me or he changes his mind about me, I blamed myself. Again, there must be something wrong that I did, or the way I am, But no, because now coming out of that, I am a much more secure person. I just know that we're just not a good fit for each other. You could meet someone who is the best person on this planet, but if there's no spark, if there's no chemistry, if there's no jodoh, then the universe just won't let it happen for you. So I think that really made me feel more at ease going into future relationships.
Yeah, but the opposite is also true. He could be the one, but then wrong time, wrong place.
That's what I thought. Wrong time, wrong place does not mean right person. The right person will always have the right place, right time.
No, because that's something that I recently went through.
Me too. Yeah.
Where it's like he ticked on my boxes, and like I'm over here laying in bed like envisioning a life together and everything, like or I'm already like fucking like 20-25 steps ahead, and just he could be
I feel you. Yeah, he could be.
And then he had to pack up his bags and leave, and you know, and then just like things, the circumstance, it's like it felt like you could have been the right person, like you are the right person, but then just the
situation right?
would not allow for it. But then a friend of mine, I was talking about this, and then they said the exact same thing you did about how like the right person will never come at the wrong time,
and the universe will just unite you two without making it so hard. It'll just happen. Yeah.
How's the dating scene going here?
Ooh, I feel like now I am just ready to start talking to people, because again, I was still healing, right? And again, I'm taking my sweet time. I'm not in a rush.
Are you going through Bumble, Tinder?
No, I'm not a dating person app. As I said, I tried it for the shits and giggles, because my friend said, hey, why don't you try it out? But it's not for me.
Have you tried a Hinge?
No, I've never touched a dating app here in Jakarta. It's just not me.
Well, Hinge is, I don't think, I mean, let me know down in the comments below, because I think Hinge is not that big here in Indonesia.
Okay, I see.
But oh my God, Hinge is huge back in the US.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I haven't used Hinge before. Yeah.
And Hinge has been great because I mean I'm pretty sure you're familiar with how the association with Tinder is like, okay, you're on Tinder, you want to fuck.
It's more of a hookup culture, right?
It's more of a hookup thing, like if you're on Tinder.
Yeah, but I heard Hinge is the opposite.
Hinge is the complete fucking opposite of Tinder.
Okay.
Bumble is like the sweet in between. It's like with Bumble, it's like you could be my friend, you could be my lover, you could be a one night stand or a fuck buddy, you know?
Yeah.
So I love Bumble for that one. Like she's Miss Congeniality.
The range, huh?
The range. She's serving range. And Hinge is the one. Actually, I have a lot of my good friends. Like they met their long-term serious partners through Hinge, and so that's why I was actually like recommending. I don't know if you've ever heard of Hinge before.
I have heard of Hinge, and I've seen the platform. You know, when I scroll on TikTok, sometimes Hinge-related contents pop up. But I am the type of person who would prefer to meet my significant other more naturally, out of technology, because I feel like my job revolves around technology already, so maybe my love life should be a little bit different. That's just my preference.
How do you go about meeting people in real life?
And mutual friends.
Through mutual friends. Right. Yeah. No. Just because, like, I mean, back when we were still in academia, that's so much easier because we are within an institution that
we were in such a bubble.
In a bubble, but also we were in an institution along with a lot of other people, and it kind of being in that environment gauged
absolutely
networking.
Especially with my college years. I don't know about yours. We were living on campus for all 4 years, so we were basically living with our friends. So it was so much easier for us to meet potential dates because you were living together.
But then now it's like we're this is actually the a very common problem with a lot of my friends who, like you, they don't want to do the dating app route, which is totally fine. Peter he's not a dating app type of person.
Are you not, Peter? Okay, I see. We're on the same boat then.
Yeah, we made a Valentine's Day episode together. Peter is not a dating app type of guy.
Yeah, it's all about preference. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with using dating apps, just not me.
You know, he met his current girlfriend in church.
Really? Oh, that's so wholesome. That's so cute.
I never hear that these days no more.
I have a good friend who met his girlfriend in church and they're getting married by the end of this year.
That's so cute.
Maybe I should go to church more.
Are you Christian?
I'm Catholic.
Oh, okay. Maybe do go to church more. Maybe do that. Are you baptized?
I am.
Oh, okay. No, I'm going to a baptism on the 8th.
Oh, congrats. Okay.
Not me.
Wait, you're going. You made it sound like you're going. Oh,
I'm going to a baptism.
I heard I'm going to be baptized.
No, not me. do not let me get baptized. No, not me. Oh my God, of all people, no, not me. But I'm going to my best friend's baptism. On the 8th.
Congrats to her.
Yes, congrats, Deandra. I'll make her watch this just because I name dropped her. But no, Peter met his girlfriend in church. I never hear that anymore. I swear to God. But also, I swear, Christie, you and I, we run in such different circles. Like the quality of people. I'm so sorry. No shade to my friends. No shade to my friends. Y'all are fun, but I'm just saying y'all are fucking degenerate. I'm keeping it real. We're all fucking degenerates here, and like birds of a feather flock together. Yeah. Because in my circle, it's like, where did you meet? It's like, oh, he was my drug dealer. Really? True story. One of my friends back in LA. She got with her dealer.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, to each their own. I'm not.
Love's a drug.
Love is a drug. Your love is my drug, and my drug gave me love. Kenapa? Satunya what?
Yeah. Oh, terapisnya.
Therapist, like what? If you fall in love with your therapist?
Yeah. That would make sense because you're talking to them so often. You're being so vulnerable with them, right? So that makes sense.
Oh my God, do you have any friends that like got with your professors? Or their professors?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of? Oh, no. I do know of mine.
A lot, yeah.
No, this one girl, she slept with one of our professors. I don't know if I should say that because like people know I went to LMU. And
like narrows down.
Yeah.
No, with my...
No, I was lying. I was kidding. No. I was lying. No, what were you going to say?
No, all good.
All good. Yeah, maybe not too much. Maybe not too much information. Oh yeah, no dating, right?
Yeah,
so, I mean, is that working well for you? Like, are you able to meet people? Like, have you been like getting? How do you go about doing that? So, like, do you tell your friends? Because I'm a dating app type of girl, right? Like, I try to. I don't know why I'm very apprehensive when it comes to letting other people know that, like, hey, I'm looking. If you know anybody, let me. Like, right. Because some people do that. I'm wondering if that's what you do.
Yeah. Now that I'm single, some of my girlfriends have some potential guys in mind, and
they're your
they're my homies.
Chicks.
Yeah, they got my back.
Chicks.
So Christy, I think I have a guy for you. Let's set up like a casual dinner first.
Interesting.
And again, I think I don't come into these dinners or hangouts, whatever, with high expectations.
Of course, keep them
just like
low.
I love making new friends anyway. So
Yeah.
my number one goal is to simply make a new friend out of this.
Yes.
If something more happens, then sure, I'll be open to it. But number one focus is just to make new friends.
Yeah. I mean, get through the do you get through the platonic stage first before the romantic
Absolutely.
stage? You know, it's
Because
like, do you even like them as a person?
Yeah, as a person.
friend, right?
Before considering them as a partner. Because I feel like if I don't know, this is interesting. I don't know if this happens to you, but if I crush on someone too quickly without knowing who they are as a person, I tend to fall for their potential instead of falling for who they are.
Yeah, you start loving the idea
of them.
Yeah.
That happens so often with me.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I got my heart broken so many times, because I fall in love with the idea of them more so than them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
the exact same way.
Also, you know what? I just had a random thought. Going back to dating in college, you asked why people tend to shove their vulnerability, their feelings away. Maybe it's because back in college, it was more of a hookup culture than now. I might be wrong, but the way I see dating now is it's more serious now that we're getting older. But in college, it was just much lower stakes in general. So I think once you get your heart broken, once you get rejected, that's fine. Move on to the next one, because I wasn't looking for anything serious anyway. But now I'm much more intentional about how I'm feeling. That's why I mentioned it takes a while for me to, all right, I like you. I kind of have a thing for you. I'm going to be very intentional about how I am around you, because it's more serious now. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. Whereas in college, it was like a whatever, you know.
I kind of almost, and obviously, disclaimer, I'm not saying this is a detriment of Americans and American culture. Obviously, I would never do that, right? But even a lot of my American friends, they're of the same opinion as me, where there is sort of this thing happening in America. It kind of, I mean, have you been hearing about this whole America's the deterioration of family values in American society?
Okay.
And I think it kind of plays into that. I tune into a lot of, I'm a liberal and a conservative politically. I'm pretty sure that's obvious for people that know me, but I tune into a lot of conservative media as well, because I like to hear both sides of things. And to be honest, this one, I don't always, depending on the nuances, right? Because there's so many nuances when it comes to talking about politics. But I see where this is going, because I don't think it's just college. I think that there's something there about how it might be, because I could be wrong. I think it's because, you know how America is so hyper capitalistic. Money is everything. Making it is everything. So much so to the point it's everything else has to be shoved to the back end. Love and family, especially, right? And I think, again, what I was trying to say earlier on, that was so hard for me to verbalize. It's sort of this so much of this very hard, apathetic attitude towards love, not infatuation, not sex, but love, right? It comes from this fight or flight mode that so many of our American friends, or just Americans, have. I think because there's just so much pressure of no, I gotta make money, I gotta make it, I gotta.
Interesting. Okay.
Right? Because in America, okay, it's shit to be poor everywhere. That's not duh. But then it's in America, when you're poor, it is and life in America is hard. Harder. Here's
harder,
the thing.
For
harder,
sure.
Because life everywhere, there's no country in this world where life is easy for everybody. That's not what I'm saying. But then it's life is already hard, and in America, American culture and American hypercapitalism makes it so much harder. So much harder and so much more complicated and so much more difficult than it has to be. Than it already is. That is what I'm saying, right? So a lot of it, they have to shove back all of the love, and
they have to shove things that require taking care of someone else. Love, right?
They kind of had to harden themselves in some ways.
They need to make sure they can survive first. And the process of surviving as a person in the States could take a lot longer than elsewhere, because of what you mentioned earlier, right? Life in the States is made much harder. Maybe that's why it takes a lot longer for them to be able to love someone.
Yes, and tying back again to, I think that's why I relate to this, right? Because like it's coming from a place like, no, I've been there, I've done that. That's why hookup culture is just so much easier for me, because it's low stake, it's easy, and it's like I don't gotta give a fuck, because it's so much easier to not care. Right? And so I think American society culture as a whole, I'm not the only one that thinks this. I swear to God, so many other people, like, they're in agreement with me that that's kind of like what's happening. It's not just college, it's just like
America.
America, like, and it's interesting to see, and it's progress, like the intensity has gone up and up, like, over the years. Like I've noticed that too, and it's reflected in the music. Like, why do you think, like, nobody in the US, like, when it comes to American love songs, they don't talk about the wholesome, endearing,
it's much more rare, I guess.
Sensitive type of love. Yeah, no, exactly. They talk about this wet ass pussy, you know. So it's that's what I was trying to say. Am I making sense?
I understand what you're what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. An interesting story. Maybe not a lot of you guys know about my school. Again, 4 years living on campus, so that made it much easier to meet people. And because we were so campus centered, the school would actually host events every week.
Like a matchmaking event?
Not match. It could be, but like we would have things called special dinners where you come dressed in a themed, I don't know, like a themed outing, and you were always encouraged to bring a +1. So asking people out, hey, do you want to be +1 for this event, was so normal back then, you know, so it made dating so much easier. And I guess that's mostly how I met my then flings, right? Then guys. But coming back to Jakarta, we don't live in that bubble anymore. And I guess it's more seen as, whoa, she's so bold and brave for asking me to be their +1 here. Maybe because I'm so used to it being like it's embedded in my college life. So it's so low stakes, you know?
It's a casual, and also like people here, I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing. It can be a good or bad depending, but then it's like people here are not able to be casual. I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about, like, okay, so for example, like one of the, if we want to start talking about culture shock, especially because, okay, for context, for those of you that don't know, we grew up in the international school system here in Jakarta, right? So it's a very westernized environment, and like a lot of like just Western ideals that we grew up with. And then straight after leaving the international school system, we went to America, right? So it's like pretty much our whole lives is just kind of like being surrounded by Western,
agree.
Adopting a more Westernized mindset and cultural mindset, and then coming back here, that was like
the complete opposite.
A fucking bitch slap of a culture shock. And so like there's so many things that I could talk about with culture shock, but specifically when it comes to dating, my biggest one probably has got to be, well, actually I was gonna say the biggest one is the aku kamu thing that I've talked about.
Remember that? You posted about this, and I responded to your story because I was also as confused. I had just found this out. So basically, for those of you that don't know me, like when I speak in Indonesian, I tend to, my defaults for, are they pronouns? Those are pronouns, right? Yeah. My default for pronouns for me and you is aku, kamu. Same.
And I use that with everybody.
Everyone. That's how I was brought up.
That's just how we were brought up.
I was told to just say aku and kamu.
Exactly.
To me, aku and kamu is just the norm, and guelo is if you guys are homies. That's what I thought.
Well, even with homies,
I also use aku, kamu. Guelo is just more colloquial term.
It's just a much more colloquial term that, like, to be honest, the only reason why I'm trying to get myself into the habit of using it more, the reason why I've never gone into the habit is just because of the environment that I grew up in, right? You and I both grew up in. It's just not normal to hear guelo. So I just use aku kamu for everybody. When I tell you, so many men have gotten it so twisted because they would think that I'm hitting on them just because I'm referring to them as kamu, and then I would refer to myself as aku. And then it's like, bro, it ain't that deep. Like, I'm literally just being nice.
It really ain't that deep.
It ain't that deep,
I'm just talking to you in a very platonic manner. That's exactly how I was brought up.
Because I had to find out from another friend of mine, because a friend of mine, like, we have this like mutual friend, right? So like there's the three of us, we're all mutuals, and then that one friend messaged me, hit me up, and was like, hey, you making moves on let's say his name is Alex, like, hey, you making move on Alex? And I'm like, no, why? And then he was like, oh, Alex is over here talking about how you trying to make moves on him and everything, and like
using those pronouns.
and then like Alex would hit up, like, let's say my other friend, the name is like, I don't know, Darren, let's say, right? And then Alex would hit up Darren and be like, yo, does Indah have a thing for me? Should I make a move or whatever? And it's like, Oh my God, no. No.
For me, it's back in college with my guy friends. Mind you, I have a lot of male friends too.
Yeah.
And we're the type of people who would hug and say, love you, bro. Yeah. I am such a hugger.
Yeah.
Like, physical touch is my number one love language. So I hug my homies, I hug my best friends. And
Yeah.
if I do it here,
Yeah.
it's perceived as me making a move because, oh, is she being touchy? Is she trying to make a move? No, I'm not.
Yeah. And
I'm just appreciating you as my friend.
And also, it's so normal, especially in America, for us to just say love you to everybody. We just love everybody.
We love everyone and everything in America.
But that's why. No, but that's what I mean when I say, like, over here people can't be casual with love. I'm not talking about casual sex and all that type of shit. No, I'm talking about how, like, even just being in this, you going out with the opposite sex to get, like, just the two of you can't be a casual thing.
Same. Yeah.
And then also here,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And then also here, and when you say love you, I can't just say that to anybody. Like, over here, it's like, oh, saying love you is so.
It's a big deal.
It's a very exclusive thing to just like a very exclusive group of people. Your partner, your wife, your boyfriend, or like your family, and that's it. When it's like in America, we say that to everybody.
Everyone. Yeah. Not everyone, but like almost.
Yeah. No, not everyone. I'm not. We're not walking down the street.
Love you too.
Although there is that one creator back in the States. Like, so she would be like driving in her car and then she would put down her window and she would like yell out compliments.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
And then they'd be like, "You're so cute." And I was like, "No,
I've seen that.
You're so cute."
Yeah.
It's like, I love you.
Yeah, but
Ada kayak gitu in the US. It's so cute. Try doing that shit over here. No fucking
way.
way.
They'd give you the looks.
No fucking way.
No, but yeah, back in America, it would be so common for strangers to compliment each other if I was walking down my college street and, oh, I like your top. I like your style. Thank you. That's kind of you. Over here.
Yeah, but or even just like, I think in America, like American or just like Western culture like has a more expanded definition of love, whereas like you can like love can enter like the love that you have for your family, that for your friends, for like your neighbor, for like whoever, like there are parts of it that kind of overlap, and it's like it's just love, you know. But then over here it's more strictly compartmentalized is what I'm trying to say. And and so people here just have like, when you say the word love here, it means something so much heavier and so much deeper and more serious compared to when we say it like in the US.
I think that's why it's now looking back, it's easier for me to move on and be secure with myself because I found other forms of love that fulfill me. You know, if I am currently single, it's fine because I feel like my life is already so full of love. Right. In other parts of my life, my family, my friends, my job, music. Right. So I'm okay. Right. So I feel like I'm not deprived of love.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. But do you feel like in the US, it's the love that you have for your family, your partner, your friends, like it's the same love, but just like for different people. Whereas like over here, it's like, no, love for family is very different from love for your partner, your love for your neighbor. Or you can't even say you love your neighbor. It's kind of weird to say that here, I feel.
I think they're different forms of love because, again, let's say with your partner, there are certain expectations, boundaries that aren't applicable with familial love or friend love, right? Platonic love. With family, it's all about unconditional love. Yeah. They're not interchangeable. They're both beautiful in different ways, but I would still view them as different sorts of love.
Is that family? Like, what are you talking about? Family? Sorry?
All sorts of love. So, for example, family love is type A. Romantic relationships, love, type B. Yeah. But the beauty of having different types of love in your life is it just completes your life as a whole, you know?
You and I were briefly talking about this. Sorry to derail, because I know we're on the topic of like culture shock. I'm sure people are used to it at this point, but we'll get back to the whole like dating culture shock in a bit. But Christie and I, we were talking on the phone a while back, and one of the things that I mentioned is the notion of unconditional love and how valid and like how true that even is. Do you really believe like there is such a thing as unconditional love?
I do believe in unconditional love between healthy relationships in family.
Family.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And when I do look for a partner, like a soulmate, someone I'm looking to marry in the future, unconditional love is very important. I do believe that there will be someone who will love me unconditionally and vice versa, me to them. Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know if it's because I'm a very pessimistic sort sort of like, I don't know if it's just because I'm a bit of a pessimistic person. Like when it comes to this, I don't really believe in the concept of unconditional love. I just think that that's a marketing gimmick. That's a scam to make you feel good when in reality it's not even real. Because I don't know, even with family, and they always say, okay, I know a lot of this is me projecting. I know, but I'm speaking from experience here. Of like, no,
it's valid. Yeah, you have your own experiences.
But look at a lot of my friends that got kicked out of the house just for being gay, right? For example, or like what they found out, like, oh, she's like a stripper, or like, you know, she's doing OnlyFans, get kicked out of the house, taken out of the family will. That's happened to some of my friends. You know what I mean? So it's like, I question, like, no, you say like, oh, you're my child, I love you no matter what. But then like, okay, if the child, is disabled, is gay, you know, love someone's love somebody of a different religion, like, you know, is a sex worker. And then suddenly, okay, where did that unconditional love go, huh? Right? So it's just been in my experience, every time people be talking about unconditional love, it's just because they want to, I don't know, they want to be fluffy and kind of like, you know, be optimistic and everything, and in reality that's not how it works. So yeah, that's a quick derail, bit morbid, I'm so sorry. But I mean, back again to the topic of, I guess, culture shock, I guess, with dating.
What else? Yeah, I guess the there are two main elements of cultural shocks when it comes to dating. One, how you put yourself in the dating pool, i.e. how it's so much more acceptable for women to be more out there. Yeah. And two, how you deal with rejection. Again, like the closed off versus very verbal, expressive. And I am the type of person who is I'm a very expressive person. Yeah. I'm a musician. I'm a singer. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just celebrating being expressive and just reminding people that it's okay if you are hurt. Just put those feelings into words and it's fine.
Those were your two biggest culture shocks coming back here.
If there's a problem, I am the type of person who would talk it out. Because I'm not a mind reader and I don't expect people around me to be mind readers too. The only productive and healthy way to solve a problem is to find out what the other person is thinking about. Yeah, absolutely. What they think about the problem, and you move forward by communicating. Yeah. Not assuming.
Yeah. Absolutely. One of my biggest ones for sure is, again, back to the whole casual thing. Casual dating here does not exist. As in, when people hear date, they date only to marry. You can't date.
You know what? I'm learning a lot from you because this is my first time dating again in Indonesia because my ex-boyfriend is not Indonesian, right? Back in the dating Indonesian pool. So yeah, I'm interested to see how it differs from the dating pool outside.
Yeah. No, but it's just like, you know, I'm on like these dating apps, and with me, my approach and my mindset when it comes to dating is, I mean, hey, if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, like we can just fuck on the side, or this could just be a once. Like, I'm very, I guess, flexible. I don't know, or some people will say cheap, but I'll say flexible. But no, it's just for me, like when it comes to the topic of dating, okay, maybe let's leave fucking aside. Like if it's dating, I mean, shit. I mean, if we kick it off, we kick it off, and then like let's see what happens from there. And then it's like, okay, what? Like, are we just gonna date for a certain amount of time and then break up amicably like afterwards, or like are we like in it for like the long haul? My last relationship, actually, like back in 2020, we dated knowing that we were gonna break up. Like we dated literally just we dated what's the saying, not for what's the saying that I'm thinking of? No, but basically, like, we dated knowing that we were gonna break up. Like, we knew that we isn't gonna last forever, but then it's just because you are the person that I have feelings for, and like I love spending time with you, and like I want to make our time is limited, but I want to make the most out of it. And so let's just date, and then like later on we'll break up and it's fine.
But I think it worked for you both because you both wanted the same thing. Yeah, and I assume you both communicated what you both wanted at that time, right?
Yes,
so
of course.
If it applies to both parties, then sure, why not? I think it's only toxic, and it won't work if it's not being communicated efficially, effectively. If that's what you both want, then why not?
Oh no, of course. But then there's besides that too, it's again, it's like I'm on these dating apps, and it's like I'm not looking for anything I'm not even looking for anything too serious. And then I've had men literally ask me like, oh, then why are you here? Yeah, but then that's why I prefer Bumble a lot more than Tinder, because with Tinder you don't have the option of specifying. With Bumble you have, I don't know if you've ever like played around with the Bumble app before, but you can literally set metrics of what you're looking for.
Interesting, so for really?
Yeah, or like you can set metrics of what you're looking for. There's also like little tags that sort of like, for example, like, are you an Aries, or like, are you athletic, do you drink, like, do you want kids?
They even ask kids. That saves a lot of time for a lot of people, I guess.
Yes, definitely. And then, but there's also the one that I always look out for now on Bumble is the what are you looking for? Magnifying glass. And if it says that this man is looking for a relationship, I don't care how hot he is, I swipe left. I just don't. And I'm not saying that there are no men out there, especially like in the modern, like this day and age, like of course there are men that are like me as well, where it's like we're more casual and like more open-minded when it comes to dating, and like whether or not this makes it to the altar. But it's just in a more traditional sense, and Indonesia overall, because that only exists here in Jakarta. You go elsewhere, like even like go to Surabaya, like the concept of dating just to date is not a thing. Yeah,
or maybe less
to
common.
Just have fun.
Less common.
Less common.
It also depends on where you are in life. When I was much younger, I would be more okay to date without high expectations. But now that I am approaching my late 20s, I am much more,
True. Even I'm starting to get there.
Yeah. Intentional with who I date, because I don't have as much time as I did 5 years ago, for example. Yeah.
Like if I do, I'm definitely on the same boat with that one. Like now at my age especially, like bitch, I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. So it's like if I do want to date, like it's gotta be with like I gotta make it worth my while.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta make it worth my while. But then, I mean, if it's just a hookup, it's like, whatever. You're just you're just filling in for now. Another thing that is very different here, and this is definitely, I feel like this is more so a U.S. specific thing versus the rest of the world. Talking, seeing, dating.
Oh, shoot,
There's
exclusive
a difference.
Or not,
yes,
right?
Exclusive or not. Even with talking, like you could be exclusively talking to somebody or not exclusively talking with somebody. Exclusively seeing somebody or not exclusively seeing somebody.
I've noticed how in the U.S. talking, usually you're not talking to anyone exclusively. You're still talking to multiple people.
That's also the other thing. Over
testing
here,
the waters in the pool, right?
Bitch, over here, when I tell people that I'm talking to multiple people, they're like, it's like the most horrible thing that they've ever heard me done, and it's like, well, no, I've done worse, and it's like, no, that's what you're supposed. I don't know. To me, that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, I understand.
Agree. Yeah, you're not supposed to be committing to just one person if you're only starting to get to know them. Commitment is later.
Yes,
you get to know multiple people, to know what you like and what you don't like, to see who you're most suitable with, and then once you choose that person, all right, okay, I think I'm ready to commit to you, because I feel like I've gotten to know you enough. I've gotten to know other people enough to know that I think you're a better fit for me.
I think in general, like in Indonesian culture in general, I will say, again, people are a lot more serious and sensitive when it comes to the topic of love and romance. Like they kind of hold that shit more sacred, I suppose, is one way to put it. And so it's not to say that men are encouraged to be talking to multiple women. At least like from an Indonesian traditional cultural standpoint, but are they more excused for it under the guise of, oh, that's just how men are? Absolutely. But when a woman does it, it's like, no, she's a fucking whore. She needs to be burned at the stake.
The thing is, okay, this is how I view it. What's the point of having a committed relationship when you need to commit at the initial talking stage anyway?
Exactly.
You know, also, I'm not going to act like your girlfriend if you haven't made the title possible. I'm not going to give you girlfriend privilege.
That, or like you haven't even proven yourself worthy. You haven't even proven yourself worthy. Like,
I'm literally getting to know you. I'm literally just talking to you, getting to know you.
You're not obligated. I'm not obligated to anything, and you're not entitled to shit. You're not entitled to shit. So and then the concept of talking to multiple people over here is definitely very foreign, and a lot of people are like, oh my God, especially when a woman does it. And then, but I will say, when moving to America and then having to adjust and get acclimatize to American dating culture, American dating culture is definitely a different breed. Like I feel I've talked about this with a lot of my other white Western, but not from America.
Got it, okay.
And it's not to the extent it is in America, which is very interesting. That's why I think this is really just a US thing where it's like there's the talking stage, there's the seeing stage, there's the dating stage, and then even with the dating stage is like, well, are you exclusively dating or like is it an open relationship? Open relationships also like really common, especially like I don't know about your circle. My circle is very common.
Not my circle.
Not your circle, yeah. Okay, in my circle, it's not that common either, but I do know people.
Okay, yeah. That I don't know too many people in open relationships.
Yeah, that I know some, not a lot, but some. If anything, moving to America and then having to deal with American dating culture, it made me so much more appreciative of how much more simple it is back home. Because in America, the progression from the talking stage to the seeing stage, or the progression from the seeing stage to the dating stage, a lot of times there's no verbal indication. Like you kind of have to just
feel it out.
Feel it out, but there's no verbal indication of like, okay, we're moving up to the next stage, type of thing. So it's also confusing.
It's interesting because I've always thought, the American culture is so much more verbal. Yeah. Right? But when it comes to the transition between talking, seeing, and mutually dating, the conversation becomes awkward. That's when people kind of stay away from the conversation. Yeah. Not all, but most.
Yeah. I will say, like, the thing I appreciate about Asian men, when they pursue you you properly. Like, they still have that sort of like old school chivalrous type of gentlemanly type of way, which I'm not for and I'm not against. I'm just saying, like, it's a thing, and it's like, oh, it's interesting, you know. Like, I've had Asian men, like, they come up to me, they're looking for something serious, and they're like, I want to take you out on a proper date. I want to meet your mother. I want to introduce you to my friends. Chivalry is not dead in America. I don't think that's the way that I would put it. But then, like, the pursuit of romance is so much more casual.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Just looking to hook up. Yeah.
Not even looking to hook up, but even like, let's say you're pursuing something serious, but they're not as cordial and as formal about it, as opposed to like Asian men, and at least definitely in my experience. Other culture shocks that like regarding dating?
Those two are the main ones. Yeah. For example, let's say I'm the type of person who's not into open relationships. That's just who I am. If you are, then go ahead. Right? Let's say if I do hear a story about a couple, A and B, both open relationships. In America, the advice would be, oh yeah, I guess if that's what you both want and agree on, as long as you've communicated efficiently, exactly what I said to you earlier, then sure, why not go for the relationship? But
live and let live, right?
Yeah, over here, no, I am so against it. Even if both people in this relationship are happy with what they have, if they don't fit into your idea of what a healthy and a good relationship is in the Indonesian culture,
yeah, because people back in America, and like this is true of individualistic societies such as America, people keep to themselves. They let live. They just mind their own fucking business, which I fucking love. Over here, very collectivistic society. Unfortunately, a lot of the times what comes with that is you're fucking nosy and you're all up in other people's businesses. That's exactly. It's not even just with dating. Like, let's say you want to be in an open relationship. I mean, shit, people can't even keep to mind their own business when it comes to a couple that mutually like both together consent to not wanting to have children, for example. Like a couple that chooses to not have children, it's like, oh, no, and then everybody gets pissed over that.
It reminded me of another culture shock. Not being able to maintain a platonic relationship with someone of the opposite gender here is so common. I am someone with a lot of guy friends. But whenever I am seen often in one of my guy friends, let's say Instagram stories, people just automatically assume that I'm dating him. And it annoys me because like it makes me feel like I'm unable to be open about my guy friends because I'm just tired of being assume that I'm dating this guy and then the next week that guy, just because I have different guy friends, and it's tiring.
Also, sometimes they be thinking that when it's your fucking brother.
Oh yeah,
has that happened? Oh, no, has that happened to you? Because you two look so similar.
Do you think so? I don't think so.
You share enough resemblance where I can tell.
Okay, I see. All right. Yeah. As a sibling, I can't see it myself. It has to be from someone else. Thankfully, I haven't gotten that with my brother.
Oh, okay. Peter's saying that a lot of people used to think that him and his sister were dating.
Ugh. You guys don't look alike, ya? Beda. Makanya
no,
orang-orang pikir.
Yeah. And then. Yeah, but then the complete opposite, where these two people are dating, but I think that they're siblings because they look the same.
Okay, there's this Indonesian belief where kan jodoh itu mirip kan. Do you agree with that?
No, because let me tell you why. My first boyfriend, white. Second boyfriend, Mexican. Third boyfriend, Indian. You think I'm gonna look like them? No, that only works within the context of a racial relationship context. Yeah.
When I was dating my previous boyfriend, a lot of people have said that we look alike, but I can't see it. I don't see it.
No,
I don't know if I believe in that.
No, I've seen you. No,
I've seen. I don't think we look alike at all.
No, not at all. I think they're just saying that because you both are of the Chinese ethnicity.
But other Chinese people are the ones to say that to us.
Okay, then that's just okay. I don't know what in the name of racism is going on, but no, that I will say this. One time I hooked up with this guy. He's like this Indonesian American dude. His last name's Gunawan.
How is that? I feel like it's better to have the same last name than to have the same or similar given names.
What if you was dating somebody? What if you was dating a dude
called Chris?
No, called Evan.
I can't do that.
Her brother's name is Evan.
I can't do that. Yeah, okay, that's even worse. Yeah, sibling's name.
That's even worse.
Sibling's name.
Okay, rate from
sibling's name or sibling's name or family. Yeah, family member's name. Ex's name. I can't do ex's name.
Could I do ex's? Yeah, I don't think I could do an ex's name.
Like, I think that's one of the ways the universe is telling you that this person isn't for you if they have the same name.
If they have the same name.
Or maybe if it works out, I would give him a nickname, a special nickname.
A special nickname. Oh, maybe that's why I've met the couples like they refuse to. Maybe not refuse, but it's just I've never heard them refer to their partner by their name. It's always by some like lovey nickname, like babe, boo.
Yeah. That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe a nickname out of their given name.
Okay, but come on, how long is that gonna last? Like when you get married, like when you get married,
call them babe, yeah.
No, but then at some point you're gonna have to call them by their name.
Yeah, that's true. When you're angry at them, you call them.
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah. Usually they'd call you babe, but when they call you Indah, you know something's up.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. I've never. That's the one thing about me. I don't like pet names in real.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very. Yeah,
I don't like cringe pet names.
Well, yeah.
I like sweet names.
No, but I don't like it. Well, I'm not against it, but I don't like it when my man calls me babe either.
Oh, yeah? Really? Why is that? I have some friends who think alike, but I just... make me understand. Why don't you like babe? Is it because it's such a universal term that, so many other women are also being called babe? Or you just don't like the connotations of babe?
No, okay. I wouldn't mind... it depends on the context. I wouldn't mind if he calls me babe when it's just in private, but in front of other people, nuh-uh.
Interesting.
When because I have this whole thing. Aku malu.
Really?
Yeah.
I would be happy and proud if my boyfriend calls me like a cute, sweet name in front of people. I'd be like, yeah, that's my man.
No, I used to tell my ex-boyfriend, I had to sit him down and be like, it's part of like the whole sitting down kind of like, I guess in a way I was like establishing boundaries and then I had to like establishing boundaries of like what I was comfortable and not comfortable with. So I sat him down and I was like, okay, listen, like I don't mind you and me holding hands and you calling me babe and you kissing me in public, like when it's just the two of us, or let's say like we're in a crowded like in Times Square, New York, when it's like we don't know anybody. But then if it's in front of people that you and I both know, like people from within our circle, you need to keep that shit platonic.
I've never heard of that before. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Please let me know down below. Like I can't be the only one. It's just for me. I'm kind of shy. I think that's the only thing that I'm shy about. I'm not shy about anything else, clearly, but that is the one thing because maybe part of it is that I feel like that is a side to our love that I want to keep private, especially because I already keep so much of myself not private.
Got it. Okay.
That's the one thing that I want to hold on to. That's like it's just between you and me.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Maybe that's why. But I don't. Again, I'm not against it. Well, I'm against it if it's in front of my friends. But then, like, even between ourselves, I kind of almost prefer my boyfriends just call me bro.
Bro.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I do respect that too because it means you have such a strong foundation of friendship.
Yeah. And for me, the one thing that I really want to look for this in my next relationship because I don't feel like I really had this with my last ex-boyfriend. And the reason why I didn't have this is actually because I think it's because we met in a dating app.
Okay.
I actually think that's why actually in my next relationship, I want to try not meet him in a dating app if I can help it. Like I want to meet him organically.
I think that's why I prefer non-dating app because if you meet someone organically, you can focus on establishing the friendship
first.
Right?
Yeah. And in my next relationship, what I really want to focus on is that, okay, if you can't talk to me as your girlfriend, I want you to talk to me as your homie. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
What that bitch do?
Yeah.
I want that, and I feel like in my last relationship I didn't have that because we started off on a dating app, and at first actually it started off very sexual. So I guess that's also why.
Right? Yeah, it's already established a very different
dynamic
nature of the relationship. Dynamic.
Exactly. So I prefer him calling me like bro or even like dude. I know a lot of girls, if their man did that to them, like these bitches would be so fucking pissed.
I wouldn't be pissed. No,
you would not, right? Yeah, but I know so many bitches that would be so fucking pissed.
Well, we're not those bitches.
Yeah, we're not those bitches. But yeah, I mean, no, it's just I don't know.
I think it's because we also have a lot of guy friends, so we appreciate the hey bro, the banter.
Yeah, the banter.
Yeah.
It's just banter vibes.
Yeah, it's just banter vibes.
But, and then like opposite too. Actually, it's more so for the men. If the girlfriends call these men bro, and also the thing that I've experienced, right? A lot of men, they think that when I call them bro, it means I'm friend zoning them.
No, we're not. No, sometimes when I get nervous, I would call one of my crushes bro.
Yeah.
Oh, because it means I'm comfortable enough with you. Like I like you enough to call you a bro.
But bitch, you know what else has happened to me?
What?
Okay, part of my vernacular is also because I'm sorry, I lived in LA and like I was always up in WeHo, and WeHo is like full of the gays.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's the mecca of the homosexuals. I mean, you know that, right? You've been down to LA.
Yeah, I've been. Yeah.
No, so I was like, I used to live in LA, and like gay culture is very big over there, especially because I was always up in WeHo partying with all the gays. The she's the gays and the days, and and I watch a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race, and so I have a very fruity vernacular, and you know how I be calling you bitch?
Yeah.
Oh my god, bitch. Oh my god, girl.
See, that's different because we're two female friends.
But I would do that to my guy friends. And sometimes, out of habit, I would do that to the guy that I'm talking to.
Oh, really? I've never... Well, how have they reacted?
I don't know. I don't know, but then like...
Because if I were them, I don't think I'd see that as a green light.
Yeah, see, but that's my bad. See, that's my bad. See, because if it's bro, dude, that's like, come on, that's like, bro and dude at this point is like kind of like gender neutral to me. Especially dude.
I feel like, okay, I would only be comfortable calling a crush bro or dude if I've already established the friendship. Yeah, a strong level of friendship.
True.
I'd be comfortable enough to call you that. But if I kind of like just met you and had an instant attraction.
But I'd be calling you girl.
Then I'd probably stay away from dude or bro first because I could see how it's a friend zone.
It's a friend zone-y
term, right?
So no, see, I acknowledge that. I swear, it just instinctually it came out. I didn't even think of it. I wasn't even cognizant of it. And then next thing I know, I was like, girl, you would not believe. And then in my head, I'm like, did I just call him girl? I'm trying to make a move on this man.
Do you think dating for you has changed ever since you are more involved in the public eye?
Interesting. No one's ever asked me that before. My approach to dating or my mindset towards dating?
Not necessarily mindset, just the dynamics of how your dates have gone, or how people approach you.
Oh, okay. Yes, I will say, because I'm on dating apps. Many a times.
I'm sure they know who you are, right? Yeah.
Many a times I'm on Tinder and Bumble. I match with this guy. First thing he says to me, oh my God, I just watched you on YouTube.
Right? Yeah.
No. No, I can't. I can't. No, I'm sorry. And then people would ask me why. And like, well, okay, maybe with some men, with some men, I will make an exception.
Yeah.
I will make some exceptions. But just in general, it throws the balance off because they're on the, first of all, you already know so much about me than I know about you, like from the get-go. Number two, it's like, okay, you know that I'm somebody with a platform. And then it's like, this is where the skeptic in me, like, not skeptic. Yeah, skeptic, and then also like very hyper vigilant. It's like, okay, well, you know that I'm somebody of a following, and then it's like, okay, what if he fucking blackmails me, right? Yeah.
Do you think you becoming a public figure, being in the public eye, has made guys approach you more confidently, or do you think that has made guys actually more shy around you or more intimidated around you?
Interesting, because I will say, let me put this out there. The number one of my criterias for my man is that he cannot be in my industry.
Same.
Yeah, he cannot be in my industry. I can't dating another influencer, and I hate calling myself that, but that is what I am. It's like dating another influencer. No, shoot me. I could not.
I prefer dating someone outside of my industry.
Yeah, exactly. And so to answer your question, has it made them more apprehensive in like approaching me? I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of insecure men in this country, in this world. Yeah, in this world, yeah. There are a lot of insecure men where they see a woman that is, she got a name of her own, and she got
high achiever.
Yeah, she got achievements of her own, she got accolades of her own, she got her own money, like she knows how to stand on her own 2 feet, and then it's like they gonna get like intimidated by that. Yeah, I'm sure there are the men. I don't want them to approach me anyway, so it's like,
I think it's okay for them to still approach you if their first impression was, if I approach Indah, I don't think she'd ever be interested in me. That's still acceptable because maybe they're still a little bit, hesitant.
Not that I'm aware of. I hope not.
Because I don't think that equates to low confidence or esteem. Maybe they're just a little bit reluctant in the beginning because, mind you, they don't know you yet. Yeah. I'd still give that a chance.
Yeah, but I do worry sometimes of like the mentality of, what they think that I would not go for them because they think that I think I'm too good for them. Yeah, that's definitely no.
Well, the right person would not think that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And one of my requirements for a man is that he's got to be secure with himself.
I was just about to say that.
Right?
How did you read my mind?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because in this industry where we're in, we meet a lot of people, including people of the opposite gender.
Yeah.
And if a guy is not secure within himself, he'd be I can't deal with jealous guys.
No, absolutely not. Me and Peter, we were talking about this in the Valentine's Day episode.
You read I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Same fucking wavelength. No, the other thing, tying to culture shock or just kind of like my shocking revelations that I find out about Indonesian dating cultures or Indonesian dating norms. It's the norm here for couples to share Instagram or social passwords.
I'm not about that. No,
I'm
not about that.
That is so toxic. Y'all don't realize it. That is so
outside the
fucking
boundaries.
Toxic.
Yeah.
Because there is this. That's the other thing too. The notion of privacy and space when it comes to being in a relationship here in Indonesia, that does not exist.
Non-existent. Yeah, and I feel like maybe people can counter by asking, how would you know that you can trust your partner? And my answer would be, well, date someone
that you can
trust. Yeah, so it saves you from
right. Date somebody that you can trust. Why would you want to date somebody? No.
Like my previous relationship. I mean, I'm bringing this as an example because I just wanted to share a good experience with you. I had a very healthy relationship. I didn't have to exchange. I've never had to exchange passwords with any of my exes.
Yeah.
Just because, I need to make the first move in terms of choosing someone good. Once you have chosen someone good, it saves you from all this overthinking.
All the extra baggage. Yeah. And you've also never had to, because it's also what's very common here is that, especially in the context of being with the opposite sex or being in a room filled with people of the opposite sex, like you always got to keep your man, you always got to text your man and be like, inform him of I'm with this person. Like you gotta take photo evidence of where you are.
I never had to do that.
No, oh my goodness. You have no idea the amount of friends that I have and they've been in that type of relationships.
I'm sure it's very common here. And I feel like, I think it's cool how if my man is proud that a lot of other guys are pursuing me, but he's my man. I think that's cool. Instead of being jealous and angry, because I've heard so many stories where the girls' boyfriends would always get angry if a lot of guys hit on the girl because the girl is pretty or the girl is a well-rounded overachiever.
Yeah.
If I were the guy, I'd be proud of my girl. Yeah, because a lot of people want her, but only I can have her.
100%.
She's mine.
Oh, actually, the last guy that I was seeing, the one that gave me the really bad heartbreak, the one that Peter made me cry about. He asked me this. This is a very good question. So let's say you and your man, you guys are at a bar, and then some dude hits on you.
Yeah.
How would you want your man to react?
Proud. Because the guy can only hit on you, but hey, you're mine.
Okay. But then what if... Okay, here is where... Actually, wait, hold on. What were we talking about last time? Oh yeah, like if we were at a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because a lot of men, like their immediate reaction would to just be like beat the shit out of him. It's like, how dare you touch my, like talk to my girl. Yeah. No. I will say the point where
of course, okay, a little bit of jealousy is healthy.
Yes.
Like a little bit of jealousy is healthy. I wouldn't want my man to be too laid back and not care.
Yeah.
But I think it's something to be proud of if people can't get your woman, you know? And
yeah, like you want what I can't.
Yeah,
sorry,
you want
you can't have. You want what I have. You want.
You can't have what you want because I have that.
Yeah. I have what you want,
but you can't have.
Yeah, there you go. And but the thing that the last guy that I was seeing, like what we were talking about is how he was going on about how a lot of women, they would purposely put themselves in situations or kind of like fabricate situations just to get a reaction out of their men. But then, you know what? I will say men have done that to me as well. And like men do that to women as well.
Okay.
Just like people fabricating, making up stories or even just like purposely instigating situations just to get a reaction out of jealousy. Like they're looking for that jealousy because that's also the other thing, right? But this one is not just Indonesia. Like even in America, anywhere you go around the world, for some fucking reason, a lot of people equate love being tantamount to jealousy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
I don't have time for jealousy. I think it's so toxic, and I feel like once you choose the right person, you don't need to be playing these games anymore. That's what I kept emphasizing. Yeah, once you find someone right for you, the universe will make it so much easier. Yeah, no more of these games.
Yeah, no. To me, it's petty. It's
very petty.
So fucking petty.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah. But I will say, have you been in instances where they try to get a reaction out of you, like your ex-boyfriends or like maybe the guy that you're seeing?
I don't think so. No.
No. Oh no, like it's happened. It's happened to me. This one Indonesian dude.
Okay.
Yeah, this one Indonesian dude that I was seeing for some time. Yeah. And then we were on the phone. Peter, I told you about this one in the Valentine's episode. He was on the phone, and it's literally kurang ajar banget sih ini sebenarnya. He was literally quizzing me.
Oh yeah? How so?
He was like, okay, so let's say I went to Starbucks with a female coworker of mine. How would you react? And I'm like, biasa aja. Like you're just getting Starbucks with your coworker? And then he was like, no, you're supposed to get mad at me, dummy. And I'm like, the fuck, why? And then he's like, no, because I would never ask a female coworker to get Starbucks with me. Yeah. Do you not hear yourself and how fucking
silly it sounds?
Silly. It sounds like, bro, it's not that deep. You're getting coffee with the coworker who just happens to have different genitals than you. It's not that deep. Right?
Yeah.
So and he would just constantly also like not in that moment, but like throughout the time that we were seeing each other, which didn't last very long. Like he would like every once in a while, like he would quiz me, like, oh, how would you react like if I did this and did that?
This is a relationship, not a classroom, not a pop quiz classroom.
Exactly. It's like, why am I getting quizzed? Yeah. And then he would always be like, no, like if this ever happens, like I want you to be mad, I want you to be jealous of me because that's how I know you care about me. And then I kind of had somewhat of the same problem in my last relationship with my last official boyfriend, where one of the things that we kind of argued frequently about is that he always felt like I didn't love him as much as he loved me because I was always a lot more hands off and like I let him do whatever. Like I wasn't breathing over his neck and helicoptering over him, and then it made him feel that I didn't love him
because you
enough.
were too laid back, right?
Yeah. When it's just, no, I love you, but is that I trust him.
Yeah,
because my ex-boyfriend, he's the kind of guy, has a lot of girlfriends. They would literally, like him, he's the only guy with like a group of girlfriends. Like they would go to Las Vegas and they would like stay in a hotel together, or like they would sleep over at his place, or he would have sleepovers with like one or two of his girlfriends, or even like he would have a sleepover with like another girlfriend of his, like not girlfriend, but like a female friend. A lot of people look at me and I think they would expect me to be one of those like very high maintenance sort of like controlling girlfriends, but I'm the complete fucking opposite actually. I'm very hands off. You do what you want, like you live your life and I live my life. I guess my friend Deandra, she was telling me there's a difference between independent and interdependent.
Yeah, independent to me, independent.
Ah!
You can stand on your own 2 feet. Whereas interdependent, you rely on your significant other to move forward, to be able to stand and...
Isn't that dependent? You depend on the significant other? I thought, what does interdependent mean? What did Deandra say? I think Deandra said independent means like, oh, you do you, I do me.
Okay.
Very individualistic mentality, but then interdependent means like we don't have to do everything together. Like we can be together in spirit.
I see. Okay, yeah. For me, yeah, independent is I stand on my own ground, you stand on your own ground.
Yeah.
Dependent is
I rely on you.
In order for me... Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the difference between dependence and interdependence.
Yeah, what is the difference?
My first thought is, yeah, if I'm dependent on you, without you, I'm unable to move forward.
Yeah. And so it like your ability to progress is contingent upon us being conjoined by the hips. Like you got to be with me all the time. Like otherwise you can't.
Yeah. Because I depend on you. Because I depend on you.
Well,
interdependence.
I think that's the whole like we're together in spirit type thing. Like we can do our own things, but then like we always keep each other in mind. I think that's what Deandra was telling me. And so that's why, because I was telling her about how, I had this like issue in my last relationship where he felt like because I gave him so much space, I gave him too much space. Yeah. And I've gotten that comment before from a lot of my friends. I'm like, no, you give your man too much freedom, right? But I don't know. In my opinion, I don't. It's like, I just like, you can, would you mind if your boyfriend like had a sleepover with like his platonic female friend?
I would.
Would.
I'm not as, I'm not as chuek as you are, which is fine. I feel like we have different levels.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I see. And then at some point, right, I have to ask myself, then where do I draw the line?
Yeah.
Then where do I draw the line? So I'm literally out here thinking, okay, is this fucking insane? I'm going to be so fucking honest. I've never said this in front of the camera before. When it comes to my men, my boyfriends, my serious partners, I've told my last two, I've made it very clear to them. I communicate this in advance. If you ever, once in a blue moon, you have that instinct where you want to cheat because shit got boring, or like you're just not even shit got boring. Like it might not even have anything to do with me. Like it's just you. Like it's that you miss the rush and the cheap thrill of sleeping with like
someone new,
someone new, or like some fucking hooker or whatever. I sit them down and I tell them, if that ever happens, let me know. I will give you a one-time pass, and that is it.
Okay.
With certain with other conditions, but yeah, I do tell them that.
Okay.
Some of my friends, well, I understand. Some of my friends have told me I'm fucking crazy, and I think that might be crazy. I'm questioning myself. I'm questioning myself because I also, I give my man a lot of freedom, but then like how much is too much freedom?
Right. Yeah. I think
that's what I struggle with.
It's completely okay if that's what you believe in.
Yeah.
Again, for a relationship to work, both parties have to be okay with this
the conditions
and the dynamic of the relationship.
Yeah.
So So when you ask where do I draw the line, I mean,
I draw the line. Okay, if he cheats on me and he don't tell me about it, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. But I will say, okay, if he cheats on you accidentally, like I don't know, maybe like I don't know how cheating.
Accidentally.
You don't believe in accidentally cheating? Oh, Peter, do you believe in accidentally cheating? Like I hear the stories.
Yeah.
I hear the stories of some of my friends as like they're under the influence. they're intoxicated and then they don't realize what they're doing.
No, whenever I'm in a relationship with someone, especially a serious committed relationship, I don't think I'll ever put myself in a position where I'm that intoxicated because I still respect my partner. And two, no matter how much I drink, if I'm in a serious committed relationship, I know I will always still just be attracted to him and only him. Yeah.
And also, doesn't alcohol amplify your inner not amplify your inner true self. What am I trying to say? As in, like, if you really love your man, like you genuinely, like that is the only man that you are interested in. Alcohol will make that sort of that
heighten that love. It heightens for that man, not for anyone else. Because
essentially alcohol makes you no filter, like all your prefrontal cortex,
nothing, non-existent.
Like all inhibitions just gone, right? And so it's like, okay, well, if you genuinely love your man, like and alcohol alcohol kind of like gets rid of all of that inhibition, then wouldn't it kind of
right? Yeah. Whenever I'm in a relationship with someone, I am very committed. So no matter how much I drink, that would only make me love him more, not anyone else.
Yeah. I mean, disclaimer again. Okay, I've never cheated. Okay, so it's like I don't know what goes. I don't know like what happens. Like it's just I have to take like some of my friends like they have cheated on their partners, and then like they tell me like what happened and everything. I just gotta take their word for it, right? There are like my friends like they tell me like oh my gosh, I was just so drunk. I didn't mean to do it. I wasn't cognizant of what I was even doing, and then
I don't agree with that. No, I've been super drunk before, and
Why were you drunk? I mean, if you're out at, wait, why are you drunk? Like, I mean, you're out at a party and like maybe you got a little bit too, okay, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't have gotten too carried away, but then shit happens.
Shit happens, but it doesn't have to be hooking up with someone else.
Yeah. Okay, but what if, let's say, they don't sleep with somebody, they kiss somebody?
Kissing to me is cheating. I would only want to kiss my man, not anyone else.
You know, there was this very interesting conversation, a clip from a podcast show that was on TikTok and it went viral. There was this girl and she was saying like, I wouldn't mind if my man fucked another girl, but I would mind if he kissed her. Because like if you just because she was saying I don't agree with this at all, but she was saying like, oh, for a man fucking is nothing, and so if he fucks another bitch, that it won't necessarily mean that he loves her, but if he
no emotions attached,
okay, yeah. But then if he kisses a woman, if a man kisses you, means he loves you. That's what she was saying. I don't agree with it.
I don't agree
whatsoever. But I'm just saying that there was that conversation. It went so fucking viral on TikTok. I do not agree with that. I will say for me personally, like let's say like my man, like he goes out, I don't know, he has like a little bit too much to drink. He gets a little. I will scold him. I will scold him because bro, what the fuck? But if anything happens, whether he kisses somebody or he's accidentally
kisses. Oops.
You accidentally took off your pants and put on the condom. You accidentally, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But if shit happens like that, as long as I will, the only saving grace is if you immediately tell me.
Okay, I see.
Because I value communication and honesty over like everything else. You tell me what happened, like just be honest with me, and like also just be honest about the fact like, hey, like you regret that, right? Like you're sorry for that, right? We'll make something work. We can make something work. But if you do that, you keep that shit behind my back. No.
I hear you. Yeah, that's where our approaches to relationships differ. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. And then, for you, if it's like, one little slip that constitutes under cheating, game over?
Game over. I feel like, okay, I like sweet, genuinely good guys. Yeah. I like to keep my relationships, my love life, drama-free. So I think I'm not the type of person who would go for guys who have more chances of ending up in situations like this.
Yeah, don't go for the men that are for the streets. Yeah, is the saying.
Yeah, thankfully all of my previous relationships have always been healthy, peaceful. So yeah, I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah.
I've never had the fear of being cheated on because I tend to attract guys who are more loyal, which is a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. We've talked a lot. We've discussed a lot. We hope that the things that we've said here were insightful or maybe just like entertaining. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Hope you learned a thing or two or were entertained. Yeah, at least entertained.
Yeah, and speaking of entertainment, tune in to Love Me Back. Available on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere.
YouTube. Music videos on YouTube.
Yes. And that is it for this episode, you guys. Be sure to like, comment, and fucking subscribe, you cunts.
Thanks again for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here, Mama. Good seeing you always.
Likewise.
All right. Bye-bye.